Hi everybody, it's Amanda from AmandaLyncreates. I'm so excited to be with you today. Thank you for tuning in. This is my very first vlog, so I may be a little nervous and probably not as smooth as some of the other ones you've seen. But I'm excited to share with you today about why I decided to start eating a ketogenic diet and my 4-month results. My 4-month anniversary was this past Wednesday, so it's pretty exciting. I have a lot to share with you. First of all, let me give you a little bit of introduction. I am a single mom with 3 kids. I work full-time. I have a long commute. So I don't have a lot of time, to be spending at the gym. I don't have a lot of time to be planning meals that are overly complicated. I don't do recipes that have probably more than 3 or 4 ingredients in them. I also don't have a ton of money to be buying, the best foods or partaking in the expensive diet plans. I looked into bariatric surgery and realized I couldn't afford that, which was one reason I looked for the ketogenic diet. But what got me going on needing to lose weight, obviously other than being obese, yes, I hate that word. I used to say just overweight, but the fact is I was obese. And my father had recently died from cancer, or maybe the treatment of cancer, because you know that's just pumping poisons into your body. And, it kind of set off a whole bunch of stuff, dealing with the emotional part of all that. And then coming to terms with basically your own mortality. We're all going to die someday. We can only do the best that we can to be here as long as we can. So, a few months after my dad's passing, my anxiety disorder went through the roof. I'm talking, my mom taking me to the urgent care because I was thinking I was having a heart attack. Another time she had to drive an hour to pick me up from work because I was having another attack and I could not function and all I wanted to do was go home. And then after that, I went and saw a doctor, was put on Lexapro, clonazepam, and I don't like taking medications. I do have an underactive thyroid, and it's all I can do to remember to take my thyroid medication. But even after getting started on those medications, it takes a while to build up in your system, and I had another panic attack in the middle of the night. That my 2 younger children were at their dad's house, and my oldest had to take me to the emergency room because I took my clonazepam, but it wasn't kicking in fast enough, and I seriously thought that I was having a heart attack. I thought that was it. And after all that started, I had fears that I would not wake up in the morning. I would see people my age that my friends were friends with. They would post on Facebook that they had passed away, and they're a year or 2 older than me, a year or 2 younger than me. So it does happen. I'm 40. That's too young. That's too young to even be worrying about this. So all of that came crashing down, and I started looking. I was like, okay, it's time to get serious. I don't have a lot of time to work out at the gym. Don't have a lot of money for a gym membership. So what do? Well, you research, first of all, and you realize that everything that we're eating today, these grains, these genetically modified foods, some think that they're fine, and they may be, but I'm not so sure. And so I try to limit those the best I can. But through doing all this research and finding out all the horrible things that processed sugar, processed wheat, all these products, the frankenfoods, there's so many chemicals in them that it's not even hardly recognizable as food anymore. So, I was looking and looking, and I started seeing more and more about, the link between cancer and sugar. There's a ton of research done on this, but it is documented that cancer feeds off of sugar. Well, I love French fries and hitting the drive-thru and grabbing a burger, and this was pretty much our existence. After coming home from a long day at work, sitting in the car for an hour and a half, kids are hungry, so I would hit the drive-thru. This was my existence for years. So after doing some of this research and watching a few documentaries, yes, they are biased, but there are some facts to it, and finding more research on the internet that backs it up led me to believe that I need to go to real foods. Okay, so that's just one part of it. And then another part is even if you're eating real foods, how the carbs act in your body, and insulin spikes, and it's so much for me. I'll have to do another video another day to explain a little bit more in depth, how all this came to be. But today I'm just explaining to you. I did a lot of research. I learned carbs are horrible. Not so much the green leafy vegetable type carbs. I eat those still. But like the breads, the tortillas, every morning I would stop at Taco Cabana. I would get 4 tortillas for breakfast and a Diet Coke, a large Diet Coke. And that was my breakfast. This isn't breakfast. But I found some comfort in it. I thought that I needed to eat breakfast, which is also not true. And we'll get into that another time too. But I just sat down and did a real deep look. And I came across article after article after article talking about the benefits of a ketogenic diet. Leveling out the blood sugar. It reduces cravings. It's, there's so many benefits. It was originally designed to help with seizures. It helps with your brain fog. I had brain fog like you wouldn't believe. I'd have to, every afternoon at 3 o'clock, I'd have to have a snack because I would have a sugar crash. So there's just so much reading that I came across, and everybody talking about the benefits. They have more energy, they sleep better at night, their anxiety was better. Come on now. That right there was probably one of the things that sealed the deal. So when I read that it could help with your anxiety and your depression and the concentration, I would have ADD during the day. I couldn't focus on anything. It's really hard to get work done sometimes when, your mind is all over the place and you're having to read something 3 times because you can't remember what you read before. So, and then no sugar crashes. And so I was like, okay, well, this is going to be a little harder because that means I'm going to have to prepare my own food. And I'm not a good cook. My kids will tell you I'm not a great cook. I'm learning to do certain things better, but I'm not a great cook. They love their dad's cooking, and they tell me every time that they can, but I'm working on it. And I know it may not taste as good as their dad's, but it's good for them. So I will come home and cook dinner. And so yes, it takes more time, and I don't eat until later. But, with all the other benefits that I've experienced, I'm willing to deal with that. So I went ahead on March 13th. I started the ketogenic diet. I kept it super simple at first. I was eating deviled eggs for breakfast and bacon, and then for lunch, I would have something, a meat and some vegetable, and for dinner I'd have chicken legs and some broccoli, and and I kept it very simple. That's the best way to start out, and then you can start incorporating other things. Always read the label though. That was something, sure, you can look on the back of the box and it's only got 1 carb, and but you have to read the ingredients. There's so many different names for sugar. There's honey in mayonnaise. I bought this mayonnaise thinking that it was keto. Everything looked good, and I'm reading, and it had honey in it. Well, so it's sitting in my refrigerator, not being used right now. Don't dive in. I will say, when you first start, don't dive in right away with the baked goods, the fat bombs, because those are kind of a crutch. Now, I will not say that I never ate them, because I did. There were times that, I thought that I needed more fat, or there was times where I thought I needed a little treat or something to feel satisfied. But that was not very often, because one of the great things about the ketogenic diet is cravings. You don't crave the things that you craved before. French fries, I don't even think about it. Tortillas, I don't even think about it. And I'm a carby. I love carbs. I would have a fresh loaf of French bread before I would have a candy bar. Not to say I would never eat candy bars, because I did, but I loved breads and French fries and things like that. So those were, at first I was like, oh, how am I going to do this? But after the first 10 days, I went through the withdrawal headaches because I did give up Diet Coke as well. And I'm sure that that's more of what those were from than anything else. Giving up my Diet Coke and not having a single sip of Diet Coke in 4 months, that's probably the longest I've ever gone without a Diet Coke. Except for maybe when I was pregnant with my first one, because I did everything by the book with her. But honestly, I miss more the act of having a Diet Coke. It was more of a ritual, that I miss. But I don't miss the French fries. I can't even put it into words how amazing this is. How I don't have the cravings that I would have had on any other diet. The thing about a keto diet, I don't feel deprived. I don't feel like I'm missing something. I don't feel like I can't partake in something. I go to barbecues and I have a hamburger and I put some bacon on it and some avocado. You can still partake in life, which is the great thing. If you feel like you need to bring something, there's so many recipes that you can share with people. Some of them, people wouldn't even know that they're keto. So you don't even have to mention it to them if you think that they're going to be like, oh God, what's that? There's, snacks and desserts you can take. Cheese dips. Oh my God, you can have cheese. So why not make a cheese dip? Cream cheese, bacon, chives, and just make a little cheese ball or something, and people can eat with crackers, and you can have it with vegetables, celery stick or cucumbers. So, it's been one of the most accommodating, though it sounds the most restrictive. It's really something else. I can't put into words how excited I am, and how, even people that I just talked to in the grocery store, I explain how excited I am about this. My friends, I've gotten a couple friends that, are either going to give it a try or are trying it. So it's really kind of exciting, but, then you get the critics. Let me talk about the critics for a minute. Oh, you're eating all this meat and you're eating all this fat. You're going to have a heart attack. There's so much research done that shows that they are not related. There's a book called Cholesterol Clarity. It's even covered in Keto Clarity. Other research articles by large research colleges and research hospitals that show that the correlation isn't. Now, if you're eating these fatty things and also the sugars and the carbs, then yes, you're going to have a problem. But all the inflammation and where things start getting sticky is when you start introducing the carbs. So, and that's another thing, speaking of inflammation, I will tell you that I used to have pains in my joints, in my hand joints, my knuckles, and I'm sure it's the inflammation. But since I've been doing the keto diet and also incorporating collagen into like my bulletproof coffees, sometimes I'll mix it in coconut milk or whipping cream just to get it in there. But I don't have the joint pains anymore. My hands don't hurt. I don't get the sharp twinges that I used to get. So that right there is, just an added benefit that I didn't even correlate to possibly my bad diet to being the reason I had sore fingers. It never crossed my mind. But sitting there one day and I'm like, oh my gosh, they don't hurt anymore. So it was a pleasant surprise. So on top of all those things, the most important thing, and what I'm sure you want to know, is after 4 months, how much weight did I lose? Well, I've lost 39.6 pounds because it's a joke that there was no way it was going to let me get to 40 for 4 months. I think it's just the universe laughing at me. But, and some people are like, 40 pounds, you can lose that on any other diet. So why is this keto so great for that? But the thing is with the other diets, I didn't, I would struggle and I would have cheats. And I don't cheat on keto. I don't feel like I need to cheat. I don't obsess about food the way that I did on the other diets. I didn't look forward to that cheat meal. I didn't look forward to, oh, well, if I just have one, oh, okay, I'm ruining the day, and let me just, eat the bad the whole day and then get back on track. You can't do that with keto. Your body doesn't like it when you do that, and it will play games with you. So, for 40 pounds in 4 months, a lot of people on keto lose a lot more than that, and a lot of people on keto lose less than that. So, I am happy with that. I don't think that it is a failure. I don't think that I am model keto, because it's tricky learning your macros. How much fat, how does your body react with this much fat and this much protein? Do I need to level it out? So it's like you kind of got to figure out where your body's happy, how much protein your body likes. You don't want to go, generally between, I think it's like 55 and 75 is what they say for women, grams of protein, and, then, upwards of that fats. Macros are, less than 20 net carbs, or some people do total carbs. It depends on how strict you want to be. I do net carbs because I eat vegetables, and I'm not going to be penalized for eating vegetables if they have a lot of fiber in them. So I limit myself to 20 net carbs, and I will fit in there between, usually in between 60 and 75 grams of protein. Sometimes I go up on my protein, and sometimes I'm a little bit less, but I think in the end it kind of works itself out. I don't think I'm in any threat of losing muscle mass, and that's what you really got to be careful of. Make sure to eat enough to maintain your muscle mass. And then my fats, I sometimes go up to 130 grams. Sometimes I'm, down at 60. It really depends. Because the thing with the keto diet also is I'm not hungry all the time. I'm not eating because I think I'm hungry. My blood sugars aren't up and down and making me feel like I'm hungry. It's level. So generally, now that I'm fat adapted, and I've been doing this for the past few months, is I intermittent fast. So what that basically means is after my last meal at night, since I get home so late, around 8 o'clock at night, and then I will fast until lunchtime. And lunchtime for me is anywhere between 12 and 2, depending on when I get hungry. And I don't eat anything between then. Because if my body's not telling me I'm hungry, I'm not going to eat. My body will tell me when I'm hungry. And then I will eat a good balanced macro-friendly lunch, and then I'll come home and I will eat a good macro-friendly dinner, and that's all I need. It's worked out really well for me. I do need to tune into more my macros. Maybe I can figure out where I need to, balance out a little bit, because my weight loss has slowed a bit, which happens on every diet. So I don't fault keto for that. And then, maybe I'll try a longer fast. I do a 124-hour fast once a week, usually on Saturday, sometimes Sunday. But I think that has helped quite a bit. I have lost a ton of inches. I'll have to measure myself, and maybe I'll add that to the end here. But I did not measure myself when I first started, so it wouldn't be a true, accurate representation. And I am one of those people that I don't like shopping. I don't like shopping for clothes. I hate it more than anything. So I am down clothes size, but I don't want to go shopping yet. So my clothes are just really big on me. So I can't tell you how many clothing sizes I've went down. I will say that I did not used to be able to, but now I have bought extra large clothes at Old Navy, and a dress at Ross that's extra large, and I haven't fit into an extra large in I can't tell you how long. So so that's exciting. So for the future, I will say that I will continue to eat a keto diet, and diet is not the right word. This is a way of eating. This isn't short term. This isn't just for weight loss. This is for health. So I will be eating this way, I presume, until forever. And, you know, I may allow myself to incorporate more starchy vegetables, or something to that effect, but it will not be bread. I don't think that I will ever eat bread again. I don't think I will eat grains again. Let me put it that way. I just don't think grains are what my body needs to be running optimally. Optimally? To be running at its most optimum. So no grains. I don't foresee myself going back to sugar. I've never been an ice cream fan. I do love dark chocolate, but it's probably because it's bitter. I don't like the super sweet stuff. I've never liked milk chocolate much. So I don't see that as being a change. And, you know, I'm going to figure out my macros. I can only say that so much because it is a tricky balance. So I'm hoping, you know, I will keep you guys updated. I may start doing these updates weekly. I know it's weird to start at the 4-month mark, but that's just where I felt comfortable to do it, I guess, where I had enough confidence in what I was doing, enough confidence to go out and explain my choices and know that they're right, that it's not a fad, that it wasn't something I was going to fall off the wagon, that I want to help people. And if I can do this, I don't see how anybody else can't do this. So, you know, I'm hoping that, you know, to build a community, you know, to share feedback and to encourage people to give this way of eating a chance, because it really is life-changing. It has changed my life, and I couldn't be more excited, and I would only wish that for everybody. So I'm going to set a goal, and my birthday is in 2 months, 2 months from today. So I'm hoping in those 2 months to lose at least another 15 pounds, hopefully 20. I would love to, by my birthday, be able to shop off the rack at Target, because I love Target, and I don't mean in the plus size section, but go into the women's section and just be able to buy a pair of black work pants in hopefully size 14. I don't think that's too much to ask, and I don't know how close to a 14 I am because I'm so out of touch with shopping, and I've been shopping in plus sizes too long, but that is my goal. So I'm hoping to come back to you on September 14th and be wearing a size 14 pants and maybe even a nice new shirt. Okay, so I'm going to leave you here, and I'm going to leave a before and after picture. Well, a before and during picture. This picture, the first picture that is going to be there is probably 4 days after I started keto, so it's probably the most accurate representation. And the after photo is going to be of today. So this is exciting. I haven't seen pictures comparing the two either, so it's going to be a surprise to me too. So until the next time I do an update vlog, I guess that will be it for now. And if you have any comments, leave them below. Please like my video, and if you look forward to hearing more updates, subscribe. And until next time, bye.
Wait, but we're also going to be putting in some pictures about your
Okay.
update.
Okay.
Feel it. Ready? I'm coming in now. As Amanda. Now, and now I got that va-va-voom, you know?
Allow myself a few more carbs from vegetable sources, like maybe sweet potatoes more often, other starchy vegetables.
It's flying around all on the camera.
Oh, could you see it?
Yeah, you could.
Oh, is it bad? How much of it was it?
Just start again from whenever you're gonna be living like the whole
Okay.
keto life. Okay.
Okay.